Hey everyone, this is Mr. Karn, and I'm just going to go through a quick tutorial with you on how to use the AVID weekly course in Canvas. If you're not using Canvas in your course, that's fine. Um, I can show you how to download those resources anyway. So you still will need to import this course into your Canvas to access these resources, but then you can download whatever's in here and then upload it to your Google Classroom or whatever else you may be using with your students. So I'm going to quickly go through this and just kind of tell you why we're using it, how to use it, and then the what as far as the content goes. So real quick, the syllabus doesn't really show anything. If you click on that, you can kind of see what it is. I started this in 2018 because I was thinking a lot of these AVID weekly articles, they will disappear after a year. So I wanted to kind of create a database and just keep them. After a couple of years, some of the stuff will be irrelevant, but we can keep developing this resource and keep using it. And again, the more the merrier, just because as our world continues to change and develop, there's going to be different articles, there's going to be different topics that we can cover. But it's also good if there's some stuff in the past that isn't necessarily tied to any of that and just is talking about general stuff, which you can always use. So we're going to keep developing this. Every time AVID releases something new, I'll make sure to put it in here. But other than that, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it short so I can value your all's time. So if you go to pages here, it's going to take you straight to the front page, which is the teacher preparation page. And just getting prepared for the actual AVID Weekly tool. So AVID Weekly is a bunch of articles and lessons and resources for you to use in your content. So anytime that we're using something like this, anytime we're planning a lesson, obviously the first step is to obviously establish a reading purpose for the text. So it has to go with whatever you're teaching as far as your curriculum is concerned at this point. So there's a lot in here, but a lot of it may not fit to what you're doing right now, but it can be an extend lesson as well. It can be kind of an enrichment piece if the students really want to go that far, they can. And then obviously some of the stuff will apply. And the skills are really what we want to focus on here, though, and that's the critical reading skills, which we'll cover here in a sec. But that's really what we want them to develop. We want them to be able to really break down the text and actually understand what the author is saying or arguing, and mark the text, which is hard on a computer. There is ways to do that, but really we don't need to concern ourselves with that right now. This is more in person. Chart and summarize text, and then also identify elements or sections of the text that are challenging, and then be able to provide support to those students. And then they even have some English language learner instructions here to prepare them for reading as well. So if you have a lot of English language learners, then you can use that. Okay, so if you go to view all pages, this is the main section you are going to use. And you can see the matrices that I've collected over the past couple years. So we'll just go to the newest one. So some of the matrices will look different, but this one is going to be the most advanced. So we can kind of look at this and get a good idea of what they look like. But it's all the same basic structure. So there's an article on the left, then it shows you the level, the content area, and then the critical reading process. So it will actually show you what skills we are developing in them throughout this lesson. So if you look here, the first one, we can see that it's an intermediate lesson. It covers math and college and career readiness. And then it has the first hyperlink, which is just the article. So if you were to click on this first link, it'll just download as a PDF, and then you can use it, print it out for your packets if you want, whatever you need to do. But it goes straight to your download, so you have an electronic copy as well. Then you can see the lesson. So it's the same process. It downloads, you open it up, and this is more for you, obviously, to kind of show you, hey, this is what critical reading processes we're taking care of. These are the focus areas, level of difficulty, and the source. And if you look down here, you can see the objectives, the essential question. Again, you don't have to use that. It's just kind of a guide and see if it aligns with your objective and your essential question. Building vocabulary here. So you can see there's already, if you're doing like an online word wall, which would be kind of cool, you can put these in there and have the students kind of see vocab words and build that vocabulary, which is critical at this age. So that's basically it. If you look through all that, you can kind of see what it is. And then they have more here, so you can see there's a couple more lessons. And then they even have an English language learner lesson as well. And so you can hammer on that if that's something that fits with what you're doing. The Probably one of the coolest things that I've seen Avid Weekly use is this image analysis, since a lot of our test questions involve a stimulus, especially as they get older. And you can see here that tech, it's a tech question, so I think a lot of our students will enjoy this. And then you can have them really look at this, break down the text. But what I also like about these is that they break it down into leveled questions. So the students can start here to build their foundation and work it up to the actual critical thinking process here. And I think that is just a great skill to develop. I think a lot of you would agree with me, especially in middle school, for sure. Because when we had them in high school, a lot of those kids, at least at the freshman level, were kind of lacking in the image analysis or just the stimulus breakdown. Even though we've taught them that, it's really just kind of giving them those tools again to practice and really build up that stamina. So if you see here, they have a video lesson as well. So it goes article, lesson, video. And the lesson will tell you when to play the video, but you can see here the man ate expired food for a year. Here's why expiration dates are practically meaningless. So I mean, a lot of these are catchy just from reading the title. So there's your hook as well. And I'll get some of those students who maybe are more reluctant learners to engage, hopefully. And then at the bottom, there's additional articles that you can go through. These are just articles. They're not going to come with a lesson, but they still go through that critical reading process and show you kind of what that is, and then obviously the different levels as well. So if you feel that a lot of your students are foundational, especially maybe like a sixth grade class, you can give them a foundation. But if you have some students who want to be challenged, maybe you give them more of an intermediate or an advanced lesson. Again, it's kind of hard if you're only talking about a certain content area and a certain subject area and it doesn't quite fit. Like if we're talking about monarchs and emperors of Europe, I mean, if I'm talking about Africa and the history of colonization in Africa, I could still tie that in, but that's going to be the challenge for y'all is to say, how can I link this? If it doesn't quite link, don't use it. Don't stretch it because then it's just you're going to lose that purposeful reading. So going back to the pages, that's basically it. All these matrices will have everything that you need. And then at the bottom, these are just some different resources I've posted in here just to collect things. The main thing that I thought was useful is these resources that I've used in the past. So for example, I really like writing in the margins. Again, tough when you're doing online learning, but this can also be something they do on another sheet of paper while they're reading. But it does kind of show, it does have a lot of these templates, and a lot of these resources that I'm giving you, you have to pay a lot of money for. You have to go to an AVID training, or the district has to pay a lot of money for to go to an AVID training. And luckily, we're gonna take what we can and save some money, and hopefully all of you appreciate that. So if you go here again, this is going to be your main page. This is where all the resources are going to be. You can flip through these and see which ones fit with your content or don't fit. And then if you go to announcements, I have nothing there. Files. I try to do a good job of like naming them, so it kind of helps still give you a good idea of what the article's about. And then the chat, if you have any questions, obviously it'd probably be easier just to email me or put it in Teams. So you don't necessarily need to worry about that either. Main thing is going to be pages, okay? And that's where all your resources are going to be. Let me show you real quick how to download this course and then we'll be done. So if you go to your Commons section in Canvas, all you have to do, and I sent a link out in Microsoft Teams that should take you to the same thing. But if you don't feel like doing that or you lost it, There you go. Just click in Avid Weekly. You can either import or download. So the download will actually give you all the files. It's just going to be harder to tell which one's which just because of the names of the files. So what I would suggest is that you actually import, and you can import it into a course. So if you actually want to start your own course and just call it Avid Weekly, you can do that. I found that to be the easiest. But some people in the past, they would import it into their actual course. So if you're a science teacher, you import it to your science class. Just know that if you don't hide it from students, they will be able to see it. Not that there's really anything wrong with that. I just don't think students are going to use it. So make sure that you go to your settings and you make sure that this little um, eye with the cross through it is there, so you don't so you know that students can't see it. Okay. Other than that, that is Avid Weekly, and it's just another tool for you all to use, and hopefully it kind of helps support you through this time of e-learning. Please let me know if you have any questions or concerns. If something's not working, please let me know, and I'll make sure to fix it. I just want to provide you all with some more tools, some more resources for you, so you can do your jobs to the best of your ability. And please stay safe. Please reach out to any of us if you need anything. But other than that, it's good working with you all, and I hope that you enjoy this and have a great day. Bye.